Welcome back to Let's Get Adulting, Part 3 of the series. This is the last part of the series by me. Let's get started. We're just going to go over why it's all important. Our first two videos were based off of physical and mental tasks on becoming more independent. And for this one, we're just going to kind of touch base on why it's all important. Why should it interest you? So I did a survey earlier on, and not too many people did it, but we still got some answers in. Now, for the most part, got a mostly female response for it. For majors, we got mostly in the engineering department, but we do have some English and education majors as well. Now, for class, it's mostly from juniors, but we did get sophomores in there as well. So it is a little tailored towards the higher grad of an undergraduate study. And for the most part, it seems either both together or more mental for physical and mental struggles. Now, I asked this question because the survey was at first to determine what should be the topics of each of the videos. And as you can see, we've got a higher rating for how to make bread, which we were able to go over. And we had a tie for the sewing a button and fixing a hole in clothing. We went over those. Now, for any of the other responses that you are interested in, you're welcome to find other videos online as well. There are lots of options out there. And I continued with questioning, like, what do you struggle with? Now, what's interesting for this one, the first one was tailored towards physical, while this one is towards mental, and it went over stress and anxiety. We did touch base a bit with that area within the first part of three-part series. Now, the next question that I had asked was whether or not they moved out from home, because finding independence does occur when you do move out. And for the most part, we had a 87.5% on yes. Now, with moving out, I had asked if they had roommates. More than 50 did say yes. In having a roommate, you're able to learn communication skills, and you're able to help figure things out. It's a lot of give and take, it's a lot of communication, it's a lot of just determining on what suits you and suits them at the same time. Some compromises do occur, and some of them you may not be happy with, but it's all in the finding individuality and finding in how to get along with someone that you live with, especially in a roommate situation. And I'd asked just a simple question, what do you wish you would have known before you moved out? Now for this one, let's give more a open-ended question. It's not something I was going to very much touch base within the first two videos, but it was something I just wanted to know. What kind of stuff do people still want to know, and whether or not I want to figure out if I want to continue this series perhaps. And there was some on baking and cooking, but most of it was dealt with expense. And with expenses, it's all about just writing things down and making your own budget. Budgeting is definitely a large part of independence, and if you have a job in itself. You're welcome to take a look at other videos that refer to more budgeting for independence for when you move out. That would be much more helpful for you. But in the most part, most of the information I wanted to talk about was based on how it helps to know, because a lot of times you're like, yeah, I know this, I can do that just by looking, but it's one thing to think and believe you can do it, and it's one thing to put it into practice. Now, putting things into practice, we can know for sure that what we're doing is right. And I did want to mention a person that really makes an example of the different situations of growing up, and that is Arthur Chickering. And he has the 7 vectors of Chickering, or Chickering 7 vectors. And going through these, we know that they go through different theories. It's a main theory for students, not just finding independence. So it's about achieving confidence, managing emotions, moving through anonymity towards independence, developing mature interpersonal relationships, establishing identity, developing purpose, developing integrity. Now, what does it all mean? Well, we can kind of go through it as a understanding that we can figure this out through the understanding with the first vector of the developing confidence. Well, this one talks about developing intellectual, physical, and manual interpersonal confidence, which means that trying to figure out skills that understand the positives and the negative situations and how to deal and how to gain that confidence in finding those kinds and communicating with that type of area of expertise. Now, of course, you've got the managing emotions, which sounds pretty simple, but it's all about recognizing and accepting emotions. It's not, oh, I have emotions. It's, well, I'm angry at something, and it's not about holding it in, but being able to express it and accept the fact that, hey, I'm angry about this. So it's all in the development process for it, as well as moving anonymity toward independence. This one is a big key factor, especially you're moving towards being independent. But it's all about reassurance through that and having that approval as well, but it's relying less on it. It's learning to still know that there is support from the people around you, but being able to accept that you have to be able to support yourself. Now, for interpersonal relationships, developing, but it's got to be mature personal relationships. So it's not just close friends, but it's able to have people, individuals that you're capable of complete trust, honest communication, and know that they're not going to go behind your back. So it's especially with those friends. You got to be able to understand and know who you are friends with, because you don't want anyone going behind your back. You want to be able to trust them wholeheartedly. Another one for Vector 5, it's going to be about establishing your identity. And this part can take a little bit. I know for me personally, it did take some time, and I'm still trying to develop my own identity. And it's all about self-concept, secure sense of self, and it's a lot of self-acceptance. I'm still growing, I'm still developing my own self-image, my self-thought process, what makes me, me. And it's okay to be stuck there. It's okay to be all the way, I know who I am, I know where I'm going, have your whole life put together, but it's also okay not to have it all together. So it's all next, kind of definitely connects with the next vector of developing a purpose. This one kind of is goal-oriented, so it makes sure that you've got something to look forward to. You've got something to work on, and exploring like what's really important for you. This doesn't have to be towards education, it can be towards personal. It's all about that growth. Now, for developing integrity, it's about morals and who and what do you define yourself of your values, or what do you truly value. And I feel like those are the main ones that I really feel like really push forward. There are 7 of them together, and you can really determine on which ones mean the most to you in life and which ones are the basis on where you want to start. You don't have to start at number 7 where you develop your integrity with it. You can start at number 5 where you're figuring out yourself before you figure out like who you want to trust with number 4. You can go backwards, you can go forwards. It doesn't matter where you start, but it's all part of learning to become more individual and learning how to develop as an individual. All right. Well, that's what it means. Thanks for watching. Here are the credits.